I'm Montel from Triple M Enterprise, joined by John and Melissa. First of all, what an epic night of boxing. How proud are you of this event?
Very proud, mate. Lovely to have you here, by the way. Thanks for taking time to interview us. We always like the attention, and it builds our profile. Look, it was a great fight. The last fight was a great show. Yeah. We work hard on putting shows together. We don't work any harder on certain fights, but some shows come off better than others, and that was the best one for a while. From top to bottom, the card was great, and it just got better and better and better. With that main event as well, you know, I've already just been told it's Fight of the Year contender, and we've already got a Fight of the Year contender sat with the board. So, really, really good. I hope you enjoyed it.
No, honestly, I really enjoyed it. And what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, what a card from start to finish. You know, firstly, the first half of the card, amazing prospects, ones to definitely look out for. The second half of the card, 50-50, barnstormers. You know, that Sunny fight against Ellison Suchi, what was that? That was incredible. Yeah. Alfie Clegg, wow, another level. And then, Gideon, and I mean, I could just go on, but the main event, you know, like, firstly, I feel like any fight that Dan Francis is a part of is a Fight of the Year contender, just his style, right? But Joel Kudoa showed up and out, and he really impressed. It was very good.
No, honestly, I totally agree, and I think JFK just touched on that. Like, he was absolutely amazing. I mean, there was moments in there where he looked like he was rolling shots, then he looked like he was hurt, and he just overcome a formidable opponent. But again, it's just like it goes to show how great boxing is. But what is next, would you say, for JFK?
Well, look, we'll speak to Tunde. We'll try and get JFK out next. But look, he's previous three fights were on Sky. 2 fights before that with us. They're loyal, but look, they're ambitious. If they can get a bigger platform, when you Fight of the Year contender, as you've just been told, I'd be watching that. That was on a good platform tonight. If I was the big boys, I'd be coming straight back into him, whether it's on a Frank show, an Eddie show, or Sky Sports, wherever. We'll try and get it out. But you know, he's got to go English level now. He's just won a Commonwealth silver. He's just won a Southern area, and he's fought someone who definitely English level himself. I feel bad for Dan because Dan's served us well. You know, he's 10-0. He'll learn from the fight. That doesn't mean Dan won't win English titles or even further. But you know, the one going home tonight with the 2 belts and the one smiling when he wakes up in the morning will be Joel. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets towards British level. There won't be many people in the country at English level that will beat Joel. So let's see what happens next. Our job's to try and get the right fight and get it on our platform if the bigger boys don't come.
And that's one thing I was going to ask you, like, how hard is it to keep these big fights going on your platforms? Like, what are the challenges that you're facing at the moment with great fighters that you've got?
Yeah, it is hard. It's really hard because clearly when the bigger platforms come, you have to respect. It's a bit like football. When a player who's like in a brilliant mid-table Premier League team and the big boys come paying more money and a better team and win trophies, you just have to respect the pecking order. But we have great relationships with every gym pretty much in London and Essex and home counties. We have great relationships with the fighters, the managers, the trainers. So our job's to pick up that phone. Sometimes they're a bit like, oh, I'm speaking to this one or that one. But look, there's loads of fighters out there and there's loads of quality fights that can be made. So that's our job. We'll get back on the phone on Monday. And these 2 shows we got coming up in September, it'll be like, right, who's fighting here? We've already pieced a few of them together. That's what I need to do now.
No, of course. And for you, presenting these shows, I mean, they're self-explanatory, but what is it like covering these shows for you?
Do you know what? It's incredible because I started working with John about a year and a bit ago now, and it was my first time presenting at the York Hall, which was an amazing experience in and of itself. Since then till now, the shows have grown, we've grown, each of us have developed individually. John and Mark have now teamed up, they're doing collaborative shows, you know, TM14 and Nielsen Boxing. They're just getting bigger and better all the time. This one, I think, is the best one so far, and there's been some real crackers, you know, in the year and a bit that I've been working with them, and I'm so excited for the September ones. I don't know how much I can give away, probably not a lot, so I'll be like, the September ones. Yep. But yeah, I mean, it's such an amazing experience, and I love working with them. They're a great bunch of people, all of them salt of the earth and so easy to work with. So yeah, I'm very pleased to be here. Keep me here, please.
No, of course. And one of the key questions is, how did you start working here?
So how I started working here, well, actually it's a good story. So I was probably pestering John at some point, being like, I can do some...
I get that from all the time.
You know, we're only human. So I think I was pestering John at some point, just being like, you know, I do some presenting, I could come and present on one of your shows. At the time he was working with other presenters, which, you know, he's a loyal guy, so absolutely fair enough. But there was an opening one day where there was a press conference, and he called me up and he said, last minute, we've got someone dropped out of hosting a press conference, would you be available to do it? And I thought, okay, sure. Not my forte, don't think I did a great job. John would probably disagree. Yeah. But I went down there, and that's how we developed a relationship. And soon after, I just started working with them, and we haven't looked back since.
No, of course, and I think for you, obviously building this massive promotion, like the team that you're building, what do you look for, and what traits do you look for in these individuals that you're looking to bring onto your team?
In terms of like presenters and stuff, we just look for quality. You know, she's been very modest there. If she wasn't that good on her first time, no offence, she wouldn't be back, would she? So she's class, she's great at what she does. I'm loyal, she's loyal, Mark's loyal. She's part of our team. She's brilliant at what she does, and like she said, it's nice to watch Melissa grow whilst we're growing, and hopefully we'll get where we want to go. Yeah, like fighters want to be the next world champion, we want to get that big contract, and we work hard. We have a very close team, and it's a small team, and Melissa's an immediate part of that team. So no, it's nice to have. And there's other people as well. I can name others, but it's Melissa here with me now. But yeah, you just got to look for grafters and people who want to do well, and people who want to help TM14 and Nielsen Boxing grow. You know, some people are just out for themselves, and I get that. Listen, that's life in any industry or any sport. But Melissa she cares about our brands, and that's what's important to us. I trust her.
No, of course. Actually, what made you even think about starting your own promotion? Like, how did you get into that?
Well, that's a long story, but I'll cut it short. I always wanted to do it a bit like a kid wants to be a footballer. I wanted to do it probably from a bit older than the kids. I don't think you wake up as a 5-year-old and go, I want to be a boxing promoter, but maybe 17, 18 I did. I then managed to meet someone through my work job 6 years ago who brought me into sport doing exactly what you do. So I used to go to all the big shows. So I was a YouTuber. Well, I say a YouTuber. I was on YouTube, but I'd go to all the big fights and interview, but I wanted to be a promoter, and by this stage I was getting connected with people in gyms, and I was like, I'm just going to do it. The family sort of like looked at me and went, are you mental? You can't just wake up. How much money are you going to make? I went, I don't know. How much money are you going to lose? I went, I don't know, probably a lot, but I ain't got any to lose. But if you don't believe in your dreams, and do you know what, I've been asked that before, if you don't try, you're not going to get there. And we're here 4 years later. We've done 53 shows now, and we're growing, and that's what it is. It takes a lot of work, it's a lot of graft. I have a full-time job as well, so you have to balance the two. You've got family as well. It's not easy on family, and actually trying to do it, but look, it's a hobby first, but we got dreams as well, and we'll get there as a team.
No, of course. I think a key question for you is there's a lot of people out there that want to be the next presenter. What would your key tips and advice be to get into the field?
Do you know what? It's actually really difficult. Like, I also started as a YouTube person, did some reporting, and for reasons of my own, not controversial ones, just prefer to present, I kind of had to just chip away, and make some good connections. And I think the best piece of advice I can give is be a professional, take it seriously, have a good work ethic, but then also nurture the connections that you make in the sport. You know, John spoke a lot about loyalty, caring about other people's brand. It is a dog-eat-dog world, and if you can actually step outside of that for a second and you make some authentic, genuine connections, I think it does propel you forward. It might not be the quick route, but I think it's the more sustainable route that has a lot of longevity. So that would be my key tips. I don't think that was very helpful, but that's where we're at.
No, to be fair, that was very helpful, and honestly it was a sublime night of boxing, so I really appreciate both of your time. Thank you, John. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime, honestly. And just to sign out, I always say, always aspire to inspire. That's just my closing line, so I'll leave it there.